even though every single Republican in the House and Senate voted against the COVID relief package, they're out there touting how strong the economy is. And they're telling us that they voted no on the package because, hey, look how good the economy's doing. We're already rebounding. People don't need money. Yeah, we still have tons of people out of work and they're not able to pay their rent. They're not able to pay their bills. But, things are getting better. So this entire stimulus package was totally unneeded. It's a waste of money from the Biden administration. Now, that's what they're saying publicly. Now, according to reports this week, behind the scenes, what's really bugging Republicans is the fact that this $1.9 trillion package is going to have a stimulating effect on the U.S. economy. Certainly not as much as we would like it to have. If you'd given people more stimulus payments, if you'd given more people stimulus payments, it would have a bigger impact. But either way, it's going to have an impact, and the impact is going to be positive. So Republicans are now freaking out over the fact that, yes, we're seeing some parts of the economy rebound. Now they're going to rebound even more, and Democrats are going to get the credit for it. That's what they're terrified of. They don't want the economy to do better with Joe Biden and the Democrats in charge. They would rather Americans suffer than see Democrats do something that actually benefits the American public. That's how petty and weak this party is. If you really wanted to win some goodwill with the voters, you could have voted for the stimulus package. You could have tried to make it go even further than it did. That's what drives me insane about the Republicans. They're always so anti everything that could help the American public, but then they always have to try to spin everything as if the Democrats aren't doing enough to help. Like, y'all could just put all of that time and effort, put down the Dr. Seuss books for a couple days and try to do something good for the American public, but you refuse to do it. And at this point, I honestly think you don't even know how to do it. Here's the thing Republicans don't have to worry about, though. The economy is not going to rebound in a really meaningful way. It's going to rebound the same way that it did during Obama's rebound. He inherited a recession and a horrible economy. Things turned around, but they only turned around on paper, right? You still had Americans with stagnant wages. Productivity was up, pay was down, benefits are down. People can't afford to pay their bills. They can't pay their medical bills, but the stock market did great. And millionaires and billionaires were making tons of money, so they kept telling us the economy was great. That's what's going to happen with this one. That's what this recovery is going to be all about. If you weren't struggling, you're probably not going to struggle. If you are struggling, you're probably not going to see your situation worse. But a lot of people at the higher end are going to be doing even better than ever. And the reason that we go through recoveries like this is because of the way our economy and our political apparatus is structured. It's structured to benefit those at the top. We are conditioned to think that the stock market is actually the economy when it truly is not. The economy is what's happening out there in middle America. It's what's happening in your neighborhood. It's what's happening in your bank account. And I'm sorry to say that even with this stimulus package the Democrats passed, which again is good, absolutely don't get me wrong about that, it's still not enough to actually change the way the economy works and make it start working for the public. So that's what this recovery is going to be. A lot like what we saw in 2009 and 2010. And in the end, it's going to leave those voters vulnerable to a con man like Trump coming in and saying, I can make your situation better.